Right, we're ready. So we're going to be doing a lesson with Scott here on fire lighting. Scott's keen to learn how to light a fire when he's out in the wilderness. So for any fire to work, Scott, with this thing here, the camera, called the fire triangle. You need 3 components to make any fire work. Have you heard of that before?
No.
So any fire needs, for example, oxygen to work, because sometimes, like the fire brigade puts CO2 over a fire, that's just the lack of oxygen that kills it. So if we have oxygen within the triangle, what else do you reckon we would need to make the fire?
Some kind of fuel.
Fuel, yeah, that's good. So can you think of some fuels we could use that would burn? What burns well?
Wood.
Wood, yeah.
Dry wood.
Dry wood, yeah, perfect. Dry wood. Anything else?
Anything hot enough?
Anything hot enough? Yeah. Anything like combustible fabrics, so like some plastics burn, don't they?
Yeah.
The wood's really good. Some grasses. Anything natural that's taken in oxygen is really good. Anything that has been alive, in general, will burn quite well. So that's oxygen and fuel. What else do you think would make that work? Do you have any ideas?
Maybe heat.
Yes, you need sort of heat to make it run. So you can have oxygen and fuel together. So you can have oxygen and wood together, but they're not going to catch fire. It's only when you apply the heat, which actually the ignition, to start it, and then you need the heat to carry on to keep it burning. So I'm going to show you. So that's the oxygen triangle there. Let's do that in. I'm going to show you a few methods that, if we're going to build a fire, how we can get that running. Because we've got our fuel source, the wood here, but that's all like closed up. We can't get any oxygen around it. So we need to build a structure that lets oxygen flow through.
Right, yeah.
And luckily tonight it's windy, so we've got loads of oxygen running through. So one common method is we just build a little stack like so. Bigger wood, and then we'll give a little bit more to just fuel that as we go.
Yeah.
We can use teeny tiny bits of wood. Which will catch much easier. And we can put that in the middle. And that'll catch and go. Okay. You can also make a pyramid. Like so. Dun, dun, dun. Come on. You make a little pyramid.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And then we're going to have air coming through with your smaller woods tucked in there, and that'll catch and burn. You make any sort of shape you want, really. Okay, so have a play with some wood, you get more out. You can break down some little bits and try and build a shape that you think will catch well. Well, then you can add more as it grows, couldn't you? So,
yeah.
Can you see plenty of roots there for the oxygen to blow through?
Yeah.
Happy with that? Do you reckon that would burn straight off?
No.
Alright. So we've got this tool here which we use in bushcraft. So I'll up the camera so you can see. All the fire steel. And the idea with this is we're going to run the steel along the flint, create sparks, and then sparks, which is our heat, will catch this and burn. You have a little play with it. See if
Yeah.
you notice one side says up, that's needs to face upwards. And
Yeah.
that'll create the best spark. Cool. Try and aim it because we're going to get the spot going. Try and direct it towards the end of that little. See if you get the spark to land there. Cool, that one went well.
Yeah.
Let me show you something again. So what a lot of people do is they try and flick with the top. If you actually hold that close to where you want it and pull the bottom one away,
Right, yeah.
you see how I'm getting it to land in the same spot each time.
Yeah.
So it's more likely going to catch. Right. We need something better than the little sticks to catch. So my favourite method is a bit of cotton wool and that's a bit of a Vaseline. So try now, use that to try and get that to catch. You'll try and pull the bottom one out and rather than flip the top one. So that might go. What I find works better is using that edge. So you can kind of flick outwards.
Right, yeah.
Don't be afraid to push hard. There you go.
Fire.
Well done. Was there anything particular that you did that you felt made difference that time that caught it?
Yeah, the edging.
Yeah.
I found the edging really better.
Yes, they found what
Quite straight.
works best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, we'll let that burn down. And then the next thing we're going to do is build some of that incorporated into your little fire nest and see if we can get your fire going. Plenty of heat, oxygen and fuel there, isn't
Yeah. Someone to die out.
there? Right then. There's some use some Vaseline. So I normally carry all that in like a little tub or a bag so it's waterproof and dry.
Right, yeah.
So if you had to light a fire, even if you got slightly wet wood,
You
it'll
still can build
still
fire.
start to burn. Maybe build a couple more up so it's
Yeah.
yeah, and then have a couple ready to go. So make sure that the ones you're going to put on actually balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know it's good.
It's strong.
Yeah. So check maybe these ones, see if they fit in well. Use a bit more wood. See what works best for you.
Yeah.
Cool, happy with that?
Yeah.
So see if you're somewhere in there, maybe get a little wooden top and get a little spark into a corner. And then it should develop. Good thing to do is if you sort of kneel, then if the fire gets too big, you can kind of back off. If
Right,
you're sitting
yeah.
down, you might burn yourself. Go for it. There you go. That's it. Okay, and then get your other bits of wood on to press it down. There you go, there's the oxygen getting it going. Perfect. Is that the first fire you've ever lit?
Yeah.
Well done. Good for a first go.
Yeah.
Watch as it burns there, but just move back a little bit. The wind's whipping around a bit tonight, so. And then if we were prepared, we'd have some marshmallows to roast, but didn't have them. Alright, and then for every safe fire, always the water to put out.
Right, yeah.
So water removes the heat, removes the oxygen.
Yeah. One of your triangles.
Yeah. Why shouldn't you put water on an electrical fire?
I don't know.
It's a conductor. So you conduct the electricity.
Yeah.
And there's a continual element of heat going for the electricity going in. So it doesn't actually do anything. What about on a chip pan fire? Have you seen water go on them?
Yeah.
When it flames up, do you know why it does that?
No.
The water basically pushes down the fat and resurges the heat and the oxygen back round. So you've got to cover it to actually choke it. So the fire blankets are a choke of a fire. You can use a damp tea towel because that's just enough to fill the gaps between the fibres, so then there's no air getting through. That's why I say use a damp tea towel. If you use a wet one, it's still going to get the same flare up effect. So, cool, well done. You can turn that off.